In this video, we'll be talking about all you need to know about storm shifts. Storm shifts is one of the unique features about Supervive, which changes basically every game. When you enter into Hunter selection, you will get a box up in the top right, which will tell you which storm shift it is of the game. This can vary all the time. Sometimes you might get more of some of them, but this video will help you to understand and know how to play with all of the different storm shifts. Hope you enjoy. First storm shift to note is normal weather. And in this one, nothing happens. Sometimes you just gotta play a game of Supervive without any extra shenanigans happening on top of that, and that is totally fine. Sometimes you will have normal weather, so there's nothing to really care about. Next one though, let's get into one of the more spicy ones, bombing runs. Bombing runs can be very tedious and very dangerous when you play with it. What you need to know about bombing runs is that you will see planes flying above the map while the game is progressing. These will sometimes drop bombing runs basically in a long strip, working exactly like nukes. What you need to be careful about is that these bombing runs come at random and you don't really have control over where the situation arises, where they end up. My tip with bombing runs is that you want to make sure that you always put yourself in a position where you have space to move on. If you put yourself in chokeholds or in small corridors, you have a higher risk of getting bursted down or bombed down basically by bombing runs. Another important note is that you want to try to end the game before you get into the tiny circles. The thing is, the smaller the circle, the higher randomness of the match is in. You want to try to take control of the game as much as possible and don't leave it over to chance. So by trying to end the game earlier, looking for isolated fights or looking for catches where you can, so get yourself an advantage early, makes it so you put yourself in a better position to win the game. Another important one, cross-country storm. This one is very interesting because you won't really feel the effect of it until late game. When you get to the late game circles, you will see the new circles coming, bouncing a lot further away from the current circle, and they will go further and further away into the next zone. So rotations is going to be all the important thing for late game. My recommendation for cross-country storm, if you get to those late games, is have a lot of jump pads. Jump pads can help you in a lot of rotations, getting around the map, trying to get an early position or late rotating into a good spot, which will be constantly moving with the circle. It's all about having a keen eye for where to move next. One of my personal favorites, bullet trains. Now, what is special about bullet trains is that normally on the map, you'll have one train traveling around the map in a circle at a certain speed. Now with bullet trains, now we have 3 smaller trains going a lot faster. Another special trick with this that you might not know is that when there is bullet train as a storm shift, the game will always end on the train tracks. So you will always be pushed towards train tracks. This can help you predict where the zones will be moving, and you can prepare your position accordingly to that. And also, get some powers and potentially hunters, that deals well with pushing people into the train and playing around the fast pace late game. Next storm shift is Final Destination. When you load into the game, you will see a red circle with an X on it, which will then dictate where the game ends. All the circles will progressively get smaller towards that red circle. This makes it so you can early rotate towards that position and set up the space for yourself and prepare some, cheesy strats for people that come towards the zone later than you. Making sure that you're early into the position can help you a lot. Glider engines. Glider engines is very interesting. One of my tips, as I mentioned earlier, is that glider is not your friend. This one can be a little bit tricky. With glider engines, you have unlimited glider fuel. This means that you can fly in the abyss forever. Basically, nobody can stop you unless they also want to come out in the abyss and potentially spike you. This creates for a lot of potential abyss fights where you can also stall time in the abyss with the most wanted. Imagine you're the last one alive, you could just fly out into the abyss with the most wanted and try to stall time. This makes it so it's easy for you to have a fair fight, even if you're super weak. Somebody, if they want to stop you, need to fly out, and then it's all about who gets the spiking hit on the glider. Glider engine can be very tedious, but also very creative and fun, so make sure you prepare accordingly for that one. Global UAV. If you like fighting and if you like brawling, global UAV will be your favorite storm shift. This makes it so every 30 seconds the map will pulse, so make sure you open the map all the time. Then you will see the positions of the teams around the whole map. This means you can easily plan where to take isolated fights, where to maybe third-party people, and where you can move around the map to try to juke people. But be careful, because everybody else will also have this information, so everybody will know where everybody is at almost all times. So make sure to check the map a lot. Luxury goods. This is a very interesting one. Luxury goods makes it so all the shops in game have special or like exotic equipment, powers, or armor. And also for a cheap price, 4K. What you want to do, the best strat for luxury goods is dropping on Cold Fang. The reason why Cold Fang is so good is because of all the pots you can open in Cold Fang contains gold. You can get 20 to 30,000 of golds in Cold Fang. But be careful, a lot of older people might also want to drop there, so which means it becomes highly contested. You can try to steal away a lot of gold, and there's also a lot of shops around that area, so you can try to get a lot of the good stuff. I would highly recommend practicing Cold Fang drops when it's luxury goods. Another interesting one is soul powers. This one makes so everybody on the team, when they drop onto the map, will start with the power that is Soulbound. Soulbound means that even if you get knocked and killed, when you come back up alive, you'll still keep that power. But also note that everybody around the map will have the same starting powers as yourself. The first thing you need to do is when you drop with soul powers is everybody on the team check what power you have and potentially switch with your teammates who can have more benefit of certain powers. It is all random which power you get, but everybody on the map will have the same 4 soulbound powers. Next one is Twisters. Twisters is a fun one. This one makes so there's more tornadoes all around the map. This basically serves as an extra jump pad just always around the map. This can help you with getting away from people or engaging on people, having more creative entrances, but also can stall a lot of time. Use the tornadoes for the best sake of using it with your mobility powers to get more momentum, engaging well, getting surprises over walls, and etc. They can be really fun to play around. Lastly, but not least, nothing too tree here. Be paranoid. Every tree is your enemy. When you drop onto the map, every person on the map will spawn with a soulbound tree suit, which means they can turn themselves into a tree whenever they want. That means you just have to be extra careful about where the trees are on the map. You know, some you can see is a little bit of a suspicious position. Might have to be counting a little bit of trees and see where things should be and where they could be. And also, you can be more creative yourself. The same way where you always have to care about bushes in all games, this one makes it extremely dangerous where you need to care about bushes and trees. Make sure you try to hit all bushes or trees at all times to make sure that you are safe in your area. Another interesting thing you can do with Tree Suit though is that if you want to be super cheeky, you can destroy one tree and then move on to that spot exactly where you kill the tree and become a tree yourself. This makes it harder for people to notice if people know the exact spots of trees. You know, some people actually do know them. And then you'll put yourself in a position where it's less likely for people to expect you coming out of. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any other questions about storm shifts, make sure you comment down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe as well. And let me know what other type of tutorial or guide videos you would like to see about Supervive, and then I'll see you in the next one.